Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Good Morning Hudson, the membership meeting for the Hudson Chamber of Commerce. My name is Mary Claire Olson-Potter, president of the Chamber, and I am thrilled to welcome all of you and our speaker here today. Thank you all for pivoting and joining with us. We thought it would be fun to be out at White Camp Park today, especially with our guest speaker. Sometimes we pivot and we make changes, and it's all good. So we are so thrilled. Eliza is not feeling 100%, but I think she looks 100%. So we appreciate you joining us, even when you're not feeling all that great. So thanks for plowing through for us. So I'd like to recognize the sponsor of today's program. We were just talking about TCOs. So Twin Cities Orthopedics is our sponsor. Twin Cities Orthopedics provides comprehensive orthopedic specialty care at over 30 convenient clinics in the Twin Cities and Western Wisconsin, including right here in Hudson. So John, did you want to add anything to that as the previous owner of Catalyst, now TCO here in Hudson?
Well, TCO is just a great organization. They're planning on moving the Hudson therapy staff from the old Catalyst location to the Carmichael Road facility with Hudson Physicians in the first quarter of next year. TCO is just growing. I, of course, think it's the best orthopedic surgical group in the country, and we're really happy that they're supporting the Aurora FC.
Yes, we are. So round of applause for our sponsor today. All right, very good. You too could be a sponsor of one of the upcoming programs, so please reach out to me for that. And then why don't we do this, because I'd like to invite everyone, just so at least know who's on the call. And one of the many benefits of attending chamber events is the opportunity to network. So I'm just going to go around on my screen and invite everyone to introduce themselves. So if you're in the middle of your sandwich bite or something, just know I'm coming to you next. So Julie, you are on the top of my screen, so I'm going to invite you to start.
Julie Peterson, representing St. Croix County Parks. I know.
Okay. All right, Mr. Knudsen.
John Knudsen, retired now, but formerly Catalyst and Twin Cities Orthopedics. Thank you.
Yep, and still very engaged on the membership committee and so forth. So thank you for that, John. All right, Phil, you're next on my screen.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Phil Russo from Cardinal Glass here in Hudson, HR manager.
Great, thank you. Melissa.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Melissa Kramer. I'm from Wisconsin Credit Union, and I'm a small business lender there.
Great. Hannah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Hannah Coyle. I am the lead community reporter for the Hudson Star Observer. That's me.
Yes, we're thrilled you're here. Lauren.
I'm Lauren. I'm the administrative assistant here with the chamber.
Excellent. Isaac. Sorry, Isaac, I invite you to unmute.
That is embarrassing that the IT person muted himself here. So Isaac Grover with Aileron IT. Thank you to Mary Claire and Lauren and the entire Hudson Chamber staff for making this happen on short notice. The lunch is fantastic.
Excellent. David.
Dave Hauser with Royal Credit Union here in Hudson.
Excellent. And Linda?
I don't have a good video here in the shop today, but hi, everybody. Linda with Minuteman Press. We design, print, and promote you. And yes, I agree. Lunch is wonderful. Thank you for pivoting today.
You're welcome. And Amy? Amy Hamlin?
I'm here. Sorry, I don't have a video today, but I'm Dr. Amy Hamlin. I'm with Be Healthy Chiropractic, a relatively new chiropractor to the Hudson area.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Amy, and one of our new members. We're so thrilled to welcome you. And we also have Krista on the phone, who the volume isn't working on her phone, but she is joining us. She is, excuse me, the bookkeeper with the Hudson Chamber. So we're thrilled to have her on today, too. So, all right. And I'm Mary Claire with the Hudson Chamber. I think I said that. So just a couple upcoming events I'd like to make you aware of. I'm going to invite Melissa to talk about the Leadership Hudson program, as we're now starting to take new students for the upcoming class. Melissa.
Yeah. So So we are launching and taking applications for the 2022-2023 Leadership Hudson program. It is a great way if you're interested in learning more about Hudson and developing your leadership skills. We run this class every other year. It's a one-year program. There is a 1 day a month commitment for the next 9 months, or for the 9 months between September and May. Kind of along with the school year, but I would say I have not have heard of anyone that has regretted the decision to go through that program. And if you're interested, reach out to me or to the chamber office, and I'd be happy to answer any questions for you.
Great, thank you, Melissa. And Melissa is chair of the steering committee. We took a drive one day. and 3 years later, she's continued to chair the steering committee. So we greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much for your leadership and hard work.
Thank you.
A couple other events I want to make you aware of. The concerts in the park that are free start this Thursday, June 9th. Enjoy the St. Croix River and then view that concert. Like I said, it's this Thursday. It's kind of like a circus performance that is coming to town, and it's available to all ages. So hope to see you down at the park at 7. If you haven't heard, the 25th annual Chamber Golf outing will be held on June 27th at White Eagle Golf Course. Still have a couple hole sponsorships available and golfers. So if you are interested in golfing and helping to support the chamber and the programs and the community events we do, we'd love to invite you to that on the 27th. I can't believe I'm saying it, but June 30th kicks off Booster Days. I don't know how the summer is already going by so fast, but join us down at Lakefront Park for that. And the fireworks will be held on Sunday evening, July 3rd. So check out the chamber calendar for all of the upcoming events that will be happening. At this time, I'm so thrilled to introduce our featured speaker for today. Elisa is one of the founding members of Minnesota Aurora FC, a woman-led and community-owned team. Minnesota Aurora FC is a part of the new USL W League, a pre-professional league designed for amateur and aspiring professional players to grow their games over the summer season. Elisa brings with her 15 years of experience working in risk and compliance throughout various industries, primarily in the Twin Cities. She currently is a forensic service manager at KMPG, and also serves as an advisor to the Minnesota Aurora FC Board of Directors. She has been involved with the team since it started. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Elisa.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for pivoting to today. As you hear, I'm a little raspy, came down with a cold. I have a presentation, so I'm going to share my screen. As soon as I do that, I can't see if you have questions or are trying to get my attention, so feel free to speak up. But I'm going to go through it kind of quickly, and then we can talk through kind of Q&A at the end here. So in just a second, and I will share my screen, and we will get going. Can everybody see my screen?
I can. Can everyone see your screen?
Lovely. I think if you can, I have faith that everyone can. Okay. So, as Mary Claire said, I'm Elisa Vicuña. I'm one of the founders of Minnesota Aurora, the first women's team in Minnesota as part of the USL W League. There have been previous attempts at pre-professional and professional women's teams, but we are the current pre-professional team here in town. We had our first game on May 26th. We're playing down at TCO's Stadium, which is the Vikings training facility. We are women-led, community-owned. I will show you kind of the list of all of our founders and run you through kind of how that has worked. But we were founded by a group of Minnesotans who really believed that women should have more opportunities on and off the field in the sport of soccer and in sports in general. You've probably seen our name a couple of times in the news. We've been very lucky to have a lot of coverage. We have a streaming agreement with WCCO. They are streaming all of our home games, and you can also stream our away games on the app 11. One of our big news items that everybody has heard of is we signed our first signed player was Sarah Fuller, who made history by being the first female kicker in a Power 5 for Vanderbilt. And she is one of our keepers. As we were building this project and working on this team, we were looking at some information, and we learned that 82% of soccer fans agree that watching it is a big part of their family and social life. 97% of respondents watch at least one soccer match per week, with majority watching 2 to 5 per week. I don't know if anybody else follows any of the other leagues, but I feel like we have multiple games on Saturday and Sunday in our household. But I recognize that I am maybe a biased participant in a survey like that. And then from that fan, we had 76% of respondents had purchased sports merchandise from women's teams in the past year. So John is wearing one of our shirts. I am wearing one of our new sweatshirts. So this is, I would say our merchandise is one of our big revenue points for keeping the team going and functioning, not just this year, but hopefully for the foreseeable future. So as I mentioned, community-owned team. So in September or August of last year, we opened up the team to community ownership. We ended up with over 3,000 owners, based in 48 different states, 8 different countries, 2 different military bases, and 1 embassy. So this really is our community and people who want to see this team and this sport thrive and survive in the area. Here are our founders. You may know some of these names. You may know some of these faces. So we have Andrea Yock, who serves as our president. She owns her own marketing company. We have Susan Earl. She's our CFO. She also works for a bank in the Twin Cities. You have myself. I serve as an advisor to the board. So everybody else on this slide is actually part of our board of directors. I sit in an advisory role because of my position with KPMG. I can't be part of management decisions. So I am set onto the side, still being able to help out build this kind of dream that I helped build with these other 9 individuals. You have Andrea Carol Frank. She is involved in nonprofits in the Twin Cities. Wes Burdine, he's the owner of the Black Heart of St. Paul, a gay soccer bar that is really close to Allianz Stadium. And Matt Pravatsky, who is our general manager, he has his own podcast and streaming called Equal Time Soccer, where he has spent and built a very large career covering women's soccer, specifically here in Minnesota, but he also touches on other areas. We have Matthew Bergeron, who is our general counsel. He also works at Larkin Hoffman. Rob Spence is part of our team. He served previously in handling and coordinating our merchandise. And then we have Allie Rinke. She's a former Gopher soccer player, and she is our brand designer. So we are Minnesota Aurora FC. As I said before, we have 6 home games at TCO. We've sold, I believe, over 4,000 tickets for each of our games, 3,500 of which were season tickets. All of our home games are going to be streamed, and I do need to update that merchandise number because I believe we crossed the $350,000 threshold recently. So here is our upcoming and already happened game schedule. As you see, we've already done 3 games. So we tied against Green Bay Glory at our home and season opener on May 26th. We beat Claw Valley. I believe it was 2-1 on Thursday evening on June 2nd. And then we beat the St. Louis Lions 3-2 on just this past Sunday. And our next upcoming games are this weekend, Friday and Sunday, 7 p.m. and 12 p.m. respectively against Chicago City. As part of this, we've had some opportunity to meet some pretty cool people, in my opinion. In this picture, you see Wes Burdine, myself, Andrea Carol Frank, and anyone who recognizes that face, that is Megan Rapinoe in front of a mural that is painted on the side of Black Heart Bar. We got the opportunity to meet her when the U.S. women's national team came into town to play last year. And that's my general presentation there. So happy to open it up and take any questions from anybody, anything that you may have. Oh no, Isaac, no picture. I'm so sorry. Did everybody else get to see it?
No, there wasn't a picture on that slide with the folks that you mentioned.
Oh, well, that's too bad. That's one of my proudest pictures, I will say. But we did get the outside of Blackheart Bar. I can't remember when exactly it was. It was really close to the time when the first news was coming out about the women's team getting equal pay. Not the finalized decision, which just happened, but the first time around where women were getting equal pay, that's when Megan Rapinoe happened to be here in town. So it was a very exciting moment, right? Because we got to meet her. She came to Wes's bar. He had commissioned somebody to paint a mural of Megan in her very famous, I guess I would say, pose, right? Of her arms spread out where she's just scored a goal, and exciting from that regard. And so, yeah, that's where we were, and we got to meet Megan in that situation. So are there any questions that anybody has or anything that you would like to know specifically about this? John, I see your hand go straight up.
Yeah,
what can I answer?
Yeah, thank you, Eliza. As a man with 8 sisters, 3 daughters, and a wife, I'm like the estrogen king. So I'm all about equal opportunity for women. My question is, with Minnesota United, with the Loons, what kind of support or collaboration might you have with Minnesota United?
Currently, we don't have any collaboration or ties to them other than supporting one another and, retweeting our things. And I will say that Michael Boxall did come to so anyone who doesn't know, Michael Boxall is one of the captains of the Loons and their center back. He also is a very proud girl dad and has 2 lovely little girls, and he came to our home opener as well. So, but that's about the extent of our partnership with them at this point.
All right. Excuse me, Isaac, I'm just going to ask a technical question that I still have the spotlight on Eliza. Do you know how I not do that?
Yeah, so Mary Claire, on Eliza's picture, there's the 3 dots at the top right.
Yep, it doesn't give me the option to not, it just says spotlight for everyone. It doesn't say not spotlight.
Okay, so just click on spotlight for everyone and that should uncheck.
I did not remove spotlight.
Oh yeah, we brought in the young adult. She can figure it out for you.
Trying to remove the spotlight.
Are there any other questions from anybody? Anything I can answer?
Yep, and Eliza, if you could just pause one moment, I'm just trying
sure.
so I can see everyone. Yep, it's a technical issue on my part, of course.
Like you want to see like
see, that's what you need. Lauren, thank you. Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine.
There is not a Zoom event if I don't have a technical issue. And everyone can attest to that. Thank you, Isaac. All right. Other questions how have you sold over $300,000 of merchandise? I mean, that is incredible and impressive.
I am going to tell you, I'm not entirely certain.
Okay. Okay.
Other than, it seems, I feel like what it is so we have a team of us. So primarily now organizing and managing our merchandise is myself and Allie Rinke. And Allie and I think, really look at things from a viewpoint of trying to build it to be broad and expansive across the community of people who are interested. We also hired, for our kit design, we actually hired 3 local women to the Twin Cities. So Carla Zetina Iglesias and Nicole Meyer, and along with Allie Rinke, the 3 of them actually designed our crest, which John is very proudly wearing there on his chest. And then they also helped out with our kit design, where we actually, I believe she's originally from Wisconsin, Cassidy Spendzinski. She also designed the kits and jerseys for Forward Madison, among other teams. And so she came in and helped us design both our home kit, which I wish that I had right here and available to show you pictures of, our home kit, our away kit, and our keeper kit. And so basically what it is we have a blue kit that has kind of the Aurora Borealis across it. So it's a navy blue with a little bit of that teal across it. Then we have a teal kit, which is my personal favorite. It kind of matches the color of your shirt, Mary Claire, somewhere along that line. And then our third one is what we call our flash red, which matches the star on John's shirt. So those are our 3 kits, very proudly designed by women. They've very clearly been a hit in the market. We, for the life of us, cannot seem to stay ahead on orders and get enough jerseys in to keep them on hand. At our home game, we had nonstop people in line buying our merch. I think what I want to say is I think that it's people who want to support the team, and they see this as a very easy, tangible way to say, here's how I can be involved now, past just that, initial community investment, because we don't have that initial community investment open anymore. If you don't have shares, we don't currently have plans to reopen those shares. So you are an owner. And so then the next options for supporting the team, right, are buying season tickets, coming to the games, buying the merchandise. And I know that I'm very biased on this, but I think some of our merch is pretty cool. Especially my favorite right now is this sweatshirt, this hoodie that we have with this, it's white, which is very dangerous for a lot of people. It's been very polarizing. I did I played pickleball on Thursdays, and I asked my women's league, I said, how do people feel about a white hoodie? And it was very 50-50, but it was the 50% that loved the white were like, when can I buy it? I want to buy it immediately. And the other 50 were kind of along the lines of, I love it. It looks great. The minute I put it on, I will spill something on myself. So, but this is one of my favorites. We have some Pride merchandise that we are currently in the process of ordering, and then we'll be announcing. One of our players actually helped us design it. So it's been entirely designed again by a team of women. So I think that we know our market very well. And so when we're designing these things, it's like, do we like them? Are people going to like them? It's generally been a yes. And my bigger issue is, do I reorder these items, or do I call it a limited run and move on to the next item?
So is it all available on, you can buy it at the games,
Mm-hmm.
is the rest of it available online, or is it in any other store locations or at the game?
Yes. So anyone who's familiar with the name Talisman Sports, it's a local company in St. Paul. We recently did like a partnership cap with them. So again, I probably should have brought all of this stuff upstairs with me. I've got literally every piece of merchandise in my house. But we just did a hat collaboration with them, and they're selling the hats, and we are as well. But they're also going to start selling the T-shirts that John's wearing and our jerseys in their store. Right now, we're waiting for our merchandise to show up. Otherwise, yes. You're surefire. So I'm going to give you kind of a two-pronged answer here. So when we release our merch, we generally do it first at a game or a live event, and then we place everything online. So I'm going to tell you, your best bet at getting what you want quickly is in person. Otherwise, everything that we have sold has also been available online. And there actually are a handful of things that we can't sell at TCO Stadium. So we have these really cool stickers. This one I do have. So we've got a sticker like this, a couple other ones that have our crest. We have a magnet. We have one for the car. We're not allowed to still sell stickers at TCO Stadium, so those can't come to the games, which is unfortunate because I love them. They're very easy to sell too.
People love stickers.
Well, yeah, I have a ton of those. That Aurora FC one, and that's basically I take them with me and I hand them out to my friends because I'm like, here you go. You now support a pre-professional women's team in Minnesota. If you didn't know.
Very nice.
So.
Great. Any other questions? I don't mean to hog all the time for questions. So, Hannah, do you have a question? Soccer lover that you are, as you told me. No?
I have a question.
I will say I also am. I'm also bringing my dad to the game on Father's Day, so we'll be there.
So that's a great game, Eliza. All right, good. Lauren.
Going back to that picture you were trying to show, how did you meet Megan Rapinoe, and do you think you'd ever persuade her to come to a game?
It's on my bucket list to try and persuade her to come to a game. So I think I'm gonna, not to be cheeky, it's networking. It was all networking. So it was like people that knew people that knew people that got us in contact with her. She was aware of this mural in St. Paul that was painted on Wes's bar. She had retweeted it when it first kind of got posted, and all of us had tweeted about it. And so I think that when she was coming to town and saw this opportunity to go to the bar, and Wes is the owner of the bar, Wes is also a founder on the team, so it became this kind of joint project between the two. Our president, Andrea Yock, has also spent a very solid career in sports, so she knew a couple people as well. And so between the group of us, we were able to get that opportunity to meet Megan. And I know that I'm not alone in hoping that she will come and see one of our games in person sometime soon.
That would be amazing. All right.
John? Yeah, John's got questions.
Yeah, two more organizational questions.
Yeah.
One is with the league. After the league season, is there any kind of a championship tournament? And my second question is, what do you see regarding the league potentially for expansion to other teams, other communities throughout the country in the years to come?
Sure. So currently the USLW is in 44 different places. So even though this is the first year for the USLW and we were one of the founding 8 teams, it's just been this kind of trickle in of, leading up to the start of the season. It was like, oh, now we're up at 10 teams. Now we're at 14. Now we're at 20. Now, and eventually up to the 44. Currently, all 44 of those are east of the Mississippi. So there's obviously like a wide, broad market there as well. There's another league that they're talking about building called the Super League, which is kind of like the opposite schedule of when the USLW plays. So the USLW is very much focused on that pre-professional development. So our kind of target market is like D1 athletes, giving those athletes another competitive venue where they can develop their skills in their off season without jeopardizing their NCAA eligibility and their scholarships. In terms of our season, so our last game is July 9th, and then we go into quarters, semis, and finals. And the way that it goes is, I believe the top team from each region moves on to those quarterfinals, and then 2 of our larger divisions, and I can't remember which ones, I think it's the Great Lakes, which covers like Michigan and that area, where they had more teams than our division did. And then another division, they also get wild card seats. So those teams will all move on to those quarters, and then from there progress on to the semis and then the championship. So it will be an overall championship of who did the best throughout the entire league. So we are looking forward to that. I also forgot to mention our head coach is from Hudson. So Nicole Lukic lives there in Hudson. I believe her husband, John, is a farmer.
We saw a picture, didn't we, Lauren, of her that she had posted up at Berkmos Park.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
She was telling me this weekend that I needed to make sure I gave her a shout out. So Nicole, you just got your shout out.
That's perfect. That is perfect.
Yeah.
Were there any to come to Hudson when you're feeling better?
Yes, I would love to come to Hudson. I was telling Lauren this morning when I messaged that I love talking about Aurora. I love telling people about the team and answering questions. And I personally was very bummed that I woke up feeling the way that I am and sounding the way that I am, but I didn't want to get anybody else sick. And I know that if this is the cold that I think it is, cold, right? I know that I picked it up from somebody else, so I know it's contagious.
Right. So is there an age range on the team?
There is no official age range on the team. So we do have a few high school students that are playing with us. And then we have players that are post-college as well, looking to just continue that development and hopefully land themselves on a professional team in the future.
But
So
what a great opportunity for those high school students.
yeah, I think it's you know, a couple of the founders and I, part of the reason we wanted to do this team was there was just kind of that developmental gap for female players in the U.S. There's a ton of opportunities for men, not as many for the women. And we saw this as an opportunity to really give women that ability to continue to grow and enhance their skills and move up better. You know, we have one of our coaches, Jenny Clark. She's one of the assistant coaches. She played in the German Bundesliga for women. And so, you know, it's very far and few in between of people who get to have these additional opportunities. And so what we're trying to do is create a network, right, for them to get that development, to meet those people, to give them, you know, our streaming is huge. The fact that somebody anywhere in the country can log in and stream these games has just amplified these players' networks of who can see them and scout them and spot them and say, I want to come to a game. I want to watch them play in person. And that could be, you know, their ticket to an NWSL team, to a Bundesliga team, you know, to any other team. And that, I think, is huge for players.
John, you need to get the daughters back playing again. Here's a great opportunity for them.
Right?
Well, I mean, right?
Are there any questions about the team or any of the players or anything? I had a lot of questions about the players last time. So I spent all weekend, I traveled to watch our team play in Kansas City and St. Louis. And so I followed the team down there and I made it a point to ask some of the players questions about themselves so that if anyone had questions about them, I was like, what do you want me to share about you?
So how do they get selected to be on the team?
They're scouted. So Nicole, Jenny Clark, then Jen Larrick is our other assistant coach, and then we have a goalkeeper coach. They spent the year kind of looking around, seeing where there was talent and who they could bring in based off of who they know and who they've seen play. So 12 of our players come from the state of Minnesota, so they're right here in our region. The rest of the players have come in from we have a player from Japan, we have a player from South Korea, we have one from Hawaii, 2 from Texas, we have triplets from Colorado, and a handful from Utah, which is where Jenny Clark used to coach. Jenny Clark and Cassie Ulrich, our goalkeeper coach, both of them coached in Utah previously. So kind of pulling in people that they've met in their network that they knew and saw had talent and brought them onto the team. And we're hoping that, you know, being an inaugural year, it makes it a little bit harder, right? Because people don't know what they're signing up for, what they're agreeing to do. Now that they've seen, you know, what we have and what we have to offer, I'm hoping that expands our field quite a bit. We also had multiple rounds of tryouts. So we had our first rounds of tryouts in early January. What we were trying to target was basically any students who are at home over Christmas break and able to come in and try out and come back. We picked up one of our players, Christelle Yua. She is a dentistry student at the University of Minnesota, but she used to be the captain for the University of Michigan. So she tried out and blew the coaches away, and now she's on our team. And then we had a couple of other opportunities as well. We had multiple tryouts here in the Twin Cities, and one of the big structures for us is pre-professional teams usually require you to pay to play. We've taken that away. So none of our players are paying to play on our team. If you have the skill and you can make the cut, there is no cost for you to play with us. So we're trying to take away that financial burden that is sometimes there for other individuals. We've also made plans to help with housing. So if they aren't local to the Twin Cities, helping them with housing. So really that there is no financial barrier for them to be able to play in our league.
So do you cover the costs then when the teams travel to different cities for games?
Yes, that is part of our operating budget. That's why our merch is so important, right? Because as you can imagine, sending 30 plus people to stay in a hotel for a weekend is not cheap. And we have a great partner in Jefferson Bus Lines who's working with us to do our transit to away games and things like that. So we've been very lucky and fortunate that I mean, it was very prevalent and obvious when we opened up our community ownership that people were excited about this, but, you know, sponsorships have come in as well. People have shown immediately that they're very excited. TCO, your sponsor today, is also one of our sponsors, and was, I would say, crucial in helping us secure our ability to play at TCO Stadium as well, right? So just a lot of people who are really putting their money where their mouth is and saying, yeah, we want this to succeed. We want to see this here, and signing up to help sponsor us. So
it was strategic that we have TCO as our sponsor today. So
I thought so. I saw that. I was like, you know, I need to make this if I absolutely can. So I was running through multiple scenarios in my head. I'm like, okay, how do I do this? How do I make sure that we can have this presentation today?
Right. No, that's all good. It's all good. All right. Any other questions regarding the team? Lauren.
Do you guys run any youth clinics at all?
Not yet, but that is next on, I would say, on our agenda. So that is one of the things that we really want to do, is take this from just being for this level of play and turn it into developmental camps for younger age groups and younger groups to also get that opportunity to train. And I believe in kind of future years, the idea would be that we might have some of our players come out and help lead those clinics. Because, you know, another part of what we really want to do is really develop these players, not just on the field, but also helping them with, you know, what they want to do off the field. If they don't necessarily see that full career future in soccer, they're obviously here, they're playing at a very high level, probably something that they want to make happen, but everybody knows realistically not everyone can make it. So they have these other things that they're interested in and doing, right? So I'm assuming some of them probably want to coach, and we can help them with that and give them some of those coaching and training opportunities. The player who helped us design merch is a graphic designer and is working on things like that. So we're like, well, here's another opportunity that we can give you. We can teach people about marketing. We can teach them about how the business of the sport is run in addition to just them being a player on the field. So
Eliza, TCO happens to have a 10,000 square foot indoor turf space in Hudson as well. So if you ever need to put on a camp or a clinic in Hudson, I've got a place for you.
I bet Nicole is probably first in line to make that happen for us too.
Well, and Lauren, you were a longtime soccer player under Coach Knutson.
Shorty.
You can try out.
After 4 concussions, I don't think so, but.
Oh, okay, well, we won't talk about that part.
Lauren understands that not all of us stay on the field forever.
I wish I could, but I had to step back after I got all 4 from soccer, so.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. I had to step back after I tore my ACL, so.
Right.
I think it'd be fun to be involved with soccer again in some way someday, but.
Mm-hmm. And this is a great forum for that, right? You can still be very much involved in helping. You know, that was also something that didn't exist when I was younger and growing up, and it's something I would have loved to have seen and or had the opportunity for. So it's great to help create that and provide this for the next generation of young women who are coming into the workforce and coming into that age of making their dreams a reality.
John, how'd you get your great Aurora shirt?
My shirt came from my daughter in the Twin Cities, who coaches and still does play. And she got tickets for the Father's Day game. So I'm excited to come up and watch them.
That's great.
Did she give you your shirt for your birthday, John, by any chance?
No.
Oh, okay. There was someone else with a very similar name who sent a message of, my shirt hasn't arrived yet. I wanted to give it to my father for his birthday with tickets. And that's why I was like, oh, maybe it's the same.
No,
maybe it's one of those small world ones.
My birthday is in August, if you want to make a note of that to send me something.
I'll look for it in August. So if you go to mnaurora.com, that'll take you to our ticket information. That'll take you to information about the team. You can see our different kits. You can see everything that we have for sale. I think that you can see more information about the other founders and myself. basically anything you want to know about the team, you can find on mnaurora.com or on any of our social medias, which we use the handle MN Aurora FC everywhere. So.
Well, please join me in giving a huge thank you to Elisa for joining us when she doesn't feel that great, but what you powered through. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure. And any questions anyone has, feel free to forward on. I'm always happy to address them. So
you probably have a big balance between your day job and soccer. So it's kind of very busy right now, I'm thinking.
Yes, it is a very busy time. I believe there is even an outstanding question from Lauren that I never answered. So my apologies, Lauren.
Okay, I understand you're busy. It's okay.
Well, Lauren, thank you so much for reaching out to Elisa. And Elisa, thank you so much for saying yes. We invite you to Hudson at any point. We'd be happy to take you around. We could show you up to TCO and the 10,000 square foot space they have for a possible clinic here or something in Hudson. I know the community, this is a big soccer community in Hudson. John knows that from his years of coaching. And so it's just wonderful to see the opportunity for women players to be able to continue to follow their passion and continue to play and have some of those that time available for them.
Definitely. My pleasure.
Thank you. So we do want to thank Elisa again for speaking. We want to thank TCO for their sponsorships of this event. I sincerely thank all of you for pivoting and making a big change today to still join us via Zoom. And for those of you that got your lunch, I hope you enjoyed your lunch. We thank the Subhouse for catering. We look forward to seeing you at upcoming events. If you have any questions, we can certainly connect you with Elisa moving forward. But encourage everyone to support the team like John and bring home a big win on Father's Day. You'll be sporting that great shirt. And John, if there's any other merch, I might just pick up a few things for you to pick out for me. And of course, you could pay for them for me too. They could be a gift for my birthday or something too. So thanks, John. All right. Thank you all so much. Elisa, again, congratulations on the inaugural year. It's so exciting to see how you have just launched and just burst with excitement, and the community is behind you. So anything we can do to help, please let us know. All of you, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you at the upcoming events. I'm Mary Claire at the Hudson Chamber. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.